A South African teenager has invented a car which runs on water instead of petrol. The grade 10 learner from Limpopo invented this hydrogen-powered car which uses water as its main source of fuel as part of National Science Week last month. And as you can see, the car drives pretty well. The teenager said he first thought of developing this car when he was in grade 7 to provide a solution to the rapid fuel price increase at that time. This just shows how much talent and ingenuity there really is in this country. I mean, this is literally a kid who built this water-powered car. Amazing.
First off, I'm going to shout out to South Africa because I've now got a regular viewer from South Africa. You know who you are, and I'm very, very happy about that. It's crazy to me. Someone on the other side of the world could be watching my channel that I started 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Without a clue what I was doing. Lovely person as well. As far as the boys' technology, we know what happened to the last guy that come up with a water-powered car. Didn't end well. Keep him close, keep him safe. They don't care who gets in the way. Money's money to them. You know, that's all they care about is money and power. Fair play to the guy, but stay safe.
They do not want your children to be educated. They do not want you to think too much. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, game shows, television shows, amusement parks, drugs, alcohol, and every kind of entertainment to keep the human mind entertained, so that you don't get in the way of important people by doing too much thinking. You had better wake up and understand that there are people who are guiding your life and you don't even know it. And all American citizens, I think, have suspected something like this is going on. But we're all too busy trying to stay alive and live our lives.
It's bang on. They never cared about the kids. This looks like an old clip from what, the 60s, maybe? They didn't care then, they don't care now. They never will. It's a rigged system. It was all designed by some little money-grabbing, power-hungry reptilian. And it was just passed down and passed down and passed down, so then you get a teacher who learned off another teacher, who learned off her teacher, who learned off her teacher, and so on and so forth. Mind-numbing. It's not going to change, but I think there needs to be a homeschooling revolution. Genuinely. Moving on. Have you ever heard of bees in a cup? Huh? Stay with me. Give me 2 seconds. Have a look at this.
Do you guys remember taking 2 soup cans and a string and making a telephone with your friend? I've made the same kind of thing with solo cups, some metal foil, and a speaker cone spring. But when I put this thing up against my beehive, have y'all ever heard of anything like this before?
Does it sound good, that? Bit of drum and bass, bit of Bee Gees, fringe. But yeah, nature's amazing.
Antarctica. It's official. There's nothing down there. You can clearly see this water is empty, and hence the rest of the continent must be as well. Like, is that Nah, there's no way. It's definitely just a case of pareidolia. You know, the human tendency to see faces in everyday things. Despite dozens of retired Navy officers who were stationed in Antarctica coming out and exposing what they really saw down there. Because of course, who could forget about this pyramid-shaped mound under the snow, cut with incredible precision and perfectly aligned with northeast-southwest. But oh, it's just a mountain for sure. There's a lot more like this, so I guess it's just a common natural rock formation down there. Even aerial shots irrefutably prove they're just normal mountain ranges. How dare we even suggest that there might be something more going on in Antarctica? Here we have a satellite photo of some sort of disk that appears to have crashed and 4 other large objects surrounding it. Some claim it's a UFO crash site surrounded by some sort of surveillance units, but it's clearly just a, a near-perfect triangle, also with a crash-landed appearance with an oddly familiar shape. Nah, there's no way. Yet another disc shape up in the Antarctic mountains, and yeah, rocks, definitely 100%. Interesting that the 1946 Operation High Jump in Antarctica was rumored to have ended early due to flying disc-shaped crafts scaring the Navy out of the area. 14 years later, the Antarctic Treaty is signed, heavily restricting exploration of the continent. This strange, long shape under the snow, another seemingly crash-landy looking site in an oddly similar shape as Oumuamua, a rumored derelict spacecraft that passed through our solar system in 2017 and was later dismissed as just being an asteroid, despite it having almost no characteristics of an asteroid, but I'll cover that another time. To be fair, this one may have just been a boulder that rolled down a nearby cliff. Hey, we just debunked that bit. But some of these other satellite finds are a little less explainable. Like, why are there over 60 monolithic objects lined up deep in the snow in a place that has allegedly never hosted intelligent life? Even more structures in the snow up to 70 feet tall that almost resemble buildings of sorts. And another, even more interesting, triangular shaped structure nearby with a similar height. And of course, the holes. Oh, the holes. Reports of holes everywhere across the South Pole. Like in 2007, Google Earth revealed a 250-foot wide hole with what looks like stairs leading into it. A few months later, it disappears from satellite view. Then in 2019, it reappears but looks totally botched and in lower quality than the image from 10 years ago. But my friends, as we know, that's barely even the tip of the tip. There have been just countless reports of holes in Antarctica heading deep beneath the surface. There's the story in Richard Byrd's diary of the glimmering underground city he flew into in 1946 that I covered in a previous video. Then a retired Navy SEAL who goes by the name Brian spoke out about a mission he went on in Antarctica in the 1980s. While flying over a no-fly zone, he saw a 300-foot wide hole in the ice with tracks around the area leading into the hole. When he got back to his station, an officer and two men in suits interrogated him about the no-fly zone violation. The men in suits tell him to never talk about that hole again and to never go back. A few months later, he's told to fly scientists to the Dome, which was a known research station back then. There, he overheard people talking about the hole, saying they're going there to meet visitors.
It seemed to me they were talking about like an extraterrestrial or an alien, because they didn't refer to them as a person, it was a visitor.
The rumors claimed these holes were entrances to underground bases where humans and these visitors cooperated on highly classified projects. Then more testimonies started rolling in. In 1985, another medevac flight over the no-fly zone saw a giant hole as wide as a football field. Men in black suits later came to tell them they never saw it. 1990s, Navy flight crews reported silver discs zipping over the Antarctic mountains at impossible speeds all the time, told to never speak of it. In 2002, a film crew called Atlantis TV flies down to the South Pole to shoot a documentary about these holes. They allegedly film actual footage of a massive ancient city buried beneath the ice of Antarctica. Sound familiar? Then they went missing, of course. Navy rescuers found their camping equipment and even recovered their tapes. They played them to a few scientists and, according to rumors, showed spectacular ruins of a lost civilization and were told to never speak of it, including an ancient pyramid temple complex 2 miles beneath the ice with caverns bigger than Bermuda. The US military confiscated the tapes, Atlantis TV sued them, lost, and then went out of business. Then this happens. A Navy commander codenamed Spartan 1 who was stationed in Antarctica exposes all of his classified reports in an interview. In 2003, while flying on an extraction mission, his Navy SEAL team notices the top of a structure in the shape of a tall black octagon in the snow below. They land, walk up to it, and come up to a door over 20 feet high with strange markings of what looks like a star map and other strange glyphs. The star map looks like a pulsar map, a mapping technique used by NASA that shows the location of a sun relative to known pulsars. The Navy team enters the building and it's huge, a room about 10 acres across, which is like 7 football fields. The walls were all illuminated with a soft green glow but no visible light source. And also on the walls were more carvings, similar to Egyptian or Mayan hieroglyphs but also way different. There was a ramp inside that led deep beneath the ground where the rooms got even bigger. According to scientists that explored these sites, these lower levels were occupied by humanoids. Humanoid beings, far superior in strength and knowledge, and are the ones who actually created humans. Anunnaki, anyone? At least that's what Spartan 2, another US Marine whistleblower, claims, adding, and I quote, "Antarctica contains wonders beyond what most can comprehend. It has ties to space and technology beyond belief." There are even reports like this one that giant alien bodies have been spotted beside entrances to caverns. This whole story is part of Spartan 1 and 2's confession tapes, which, yes, sure, they might be making it up, but they sure ain't the only ones. Contractors like Eric Heckler have also exposed insane technology they're experimenting with down there, and that's another topic that'll blow your load. But you can actually fly to Antarctica if you wanted to, so why doesn't anyone just do that and examine these sites firsthand? Well, the area designated for tourist travel down there is limited, like extremely limited. Going there and declaring Antarctica a barren wasteland with nothing to see would be like going to Las Vegas and claiming all of America is just a giant desert. And remember, just a theory, but I'm sure Google will tell you all about how all of this is 100% 100% confirmed fake, and we should mindlessly shame anyone who dares question it.
What's not been said already about Antarctica? There's obviously things there. The list of Hollow Earth, there's been reports. Aliens and spaceships and stuff, been reports. People going missing as well as aircraft, reports. What else? You know what? Extra land, there's been reports. And if you're one of us, the flat earthers, the ice wall, the extra land above that, it's annoying. They won't let anyone go. It's not like we could just go. The rough seas, the freezing cold temperatures, like, we're never going to get there. But they should at least give someone the opportunity. You never know. I might win the lottery and want to go. It's frustrating where they think they're the keepers of everything, but people like this guy are doing a good job of like just spreading awareness, because he puts it in like a jovial way, to where it's enjoyable to listen to and watch. So, and which is probably the best way to go about it, to approach it, because people are just argumentative and combative. So if you take it as a pinch of salt and a joke, you might get somewhere. But then again, you might not. Anyway, on we go.
Over the course of the next few years, there will be certain things that will occur that will let you know that contact is about to happen. Not only in terms of an increase in sightings, but also in the way in which this may occur. There are several paths that may be taken by extraterrestrial beings, such as ourselves and others, to begin to initiate you into becoming familiar with our presence in a physical way. One of those ways may be something like this. Ships may appear over your oceans just offshore, so that you know the ship will stay there over the water. You may watch it from shore. It will not move. You will not feel in any way, shape, or form threatened, because it is not coming over your heads, over land where you are, but remaining at arm's length out over the water, so that it gives you time to absorb the fact that they are there, off the coastlines of different countries around your world. They may be there for quite some time, to allow you the opportunity to gather, to travel to those places, to see the ships. We understand that sometimes they may be surrounded by some of your aerial vehicles, such as helicopters and so on and so forth. But that will all just be part of the show. They will remain there to give you time to get used to the idea that we are here, to get used to the idea that this is the beginning of a great change upon your planet, of a great change in your society, to give you time to discuss among yourselves how you will respond to this change. Take your time. It's fine. There's no hurry. There's no rush. We're not going anywhere.
Right, Bashar. I've seen him years ago, but I always actually thought it was a joke, even though I believe in all this stuff myself, and I always have. Don't know why, I just thought it was a joke. But I'm going to start getting into him again. I'm going to start actually watching his stuff. I've been watching a little bit lately, so, and I don't know how to take him. I'm not made up yet. I've not made my mind up about him yet. Let's see how it pans out. Interesting though, either way. I'm going to leave you with this clip. This is Dr. Stephen Greer. You probably already know him. If not, please, I beg you, go and watch Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. Jeremy Piven narrates it, so his voice is just amazing anyway. And it's unbelievable. Literally, it's unbelievable. It's so interesting. And I've tried to explain it to people and they're like, I won't, no spoilers, but if I try to explain it, you'd be like, it wouldn't make sense, or you'd be like, yeah, whatever, far-fetched. Until he explains it. And I'm pretty sure him is doing him and a lot of like scientists or whoever. People are a lot smarter than me anyway. They're all getting together, and when governments come in and crash and suppress people's technology and break up people's buildings and offices and stuff like that to get rid of all the evidence and all the progress they've done, these are going to live stream it from a few different places 24/7, 365, so no one can do anything, and to get results. Honestly, if he is not a plant, or which obviously I just don't think he is, if he's legit, which I'm 99.9% sure he is, He's amazing. He's what this world needs, honestly. More people should know about him. I'm surprised they don't. You probably know him off the Gaia adverts. The little ads pop up on YouTube at Gaia, G-A-I-A, Gaia. He's that bald, older guy. Please look him up and please go and watch Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind and the rest of his stuff. On that note, I'm going to leave you there. It's been a pleasure again. Tell a friend about my channel, subscribe, comment, like, and just get the algorithm pushing me out so I can, honestly, it does spur me on. I was actually contemplating getting the channel, and then I had a certain somebody from South Africa pop up today. It did give me a little bit of boost and say like she enjoyed the channel or they enjoyed the channel, and it gives you a little boost. I was only planning on doing this for 30 days. I'm hoping to do it long term, so if the algorithm pushes me out, I can keep doing it because I actually really enjoy doing this. It's good for me mentally. I love to do it. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.
Consciousness, this faculty of being sentient, awake, is not limited to our brainwaves or our bodies, but in fact transcends the limits of space-time. It's an unbounded field of awareness. And that is true whether you recognize it or not. Interestingly, it doesn't matter if you intellectualize it. That is the reality of it that has been proven through scientific studies, such as Dr. John's work at Princeton, where they would have people put their awareness on a random number generator that's spitting out zeros and ones randomly, and would intend to shift it, say, towards zeros, and it would shift without any linear wires, just their thought.
Essentially what a random number generator does is it looks at something intrinsically random in the physical world, typically a quantum process, and it converts those into a string of ones and zeros. So you can think of it kind of like a coin flipper where heads is 1 and tails is 0. Now if you collect a large enough sample size, you find a 50-50 distribution of these ones and zeros, meaning physical reality is behaving the way it should. Well, if you get somebody in front of a machine and you ask them to use their intention to mean shift the thing to more ones and more zeros, what you find is that there's, not all the time, but often, a significant mean shift in the direction of their intention. Now that's a very simple experiment, but the implications are absolutely profound. Consciousness may not be localized to our bodies, but may be a fundamental feature of the physical world in which we live.